In the second episode, we have shown that through evolution, when you go to the study of evolution, it actually shows that the actual first human beings were actually in South Africa, in the sub-Saharan Africa, in particular South Africa. We have alluded to people to go to the cradle of humankind, which is here in Gauteng, where people can actually go and see the oldest fossils that our genealogists are actually unveiling. So that can give you a mindset and an understanding of how far back we come as the African nation, in particular Southern African. Research has shown, there are some researchers that have shown, they call it Mitochondrial Eve. It shows that we all come from one maternal, one female, one woman. Genetics shows that we have the XX and the XY. XX is for women, XY is for the men. So if your lineage is all the X's, XX, meaning in your lineage, if it's only women, they can trace back your lineage, your genealogy, as far back as 300,000 years.
Studying the genomes of more than 1,200 indigenous people living in the southern part of Africa today, the team pieced together the lineage of one of the oldest DNA lineage to date, a collection of genes called L0, which is passed down maternally through the mitochondria, has survived remarkably unchanged for hundreds of thousands of years. L0 mitochondrial genome is particularly important because all living people with this particular genome are believed to have descended from their maternal lineage from a woman who first carried this sequence. This hypothetical woman is what was called the Mitochondrial Eve. The L0 lineage is now predominantly found in the Khoisan people who are indigenous to the southern part of Africa. Numerous other indigenous Africans have also been shown to carry the mitochondrial DNA that descends from this lineage, but with a subtle variation. By comparing these variations from group to group, geneticists can piece together a general timeline of when these ancient genetic lineages diverged. The dataset acquired in this recent research created one of the most accurate snapshots ever taken of how ancient mitochondrial lineages are dispersed around southern Africa. The author, Vanessa Hayes, a geneticist from the Govan Institute of Genetic Research in the University of Sydney, said that scientists have known that humans originated in Africa roughly 200,000 years ago. But what hadn't been figured out until this research was done is where the exact homeland was.
What was exciting about this paper is that we could use the mitogenome and the L0 lineage in particular to trace our human ancestors back to what is possibly the birthplace of mankind. So what our genomic data showed us is our ancestors appear to have lived and thrived for 70,000 years in a region without any need to explore further. This region we believe to be the Makgari-Okavanga region, which spans most of Botswana today.
In fact, they estimated that the Mitochondrial Eve could be the 16,000th great-grandmother to all of us. There is evidence that this woman lived in sub-Saharan Africa near the Makgari Okavango wetland in Botswana. It is important to note, however, that the Mitochondrial Eve, or the most recent common mitochondrial ancestor, is unlikely to have been the only female ancestor that we have who lived at that time. Many other women who might have lived at this time may have had descendants. However, the Mitochondrial Eve is the most recent direct line maternal ancestor that we all share.